Iran versus USA and Israel. The conflict that could change the world. What if the next world war doesn't begin with a declaration, but with a missile in the night sky? What if it doesn't start with armies marching across borders, but with silent drones, radar screens flashing, and leaders making decisions in underground command rooms? The tension between Iran, the United States, and Israel is no longer just political. It is military. It is strategic. It is global. For decades, hostility has simmered beneath the surface. Now, it threatens to boil over. The question is no longer if confrontation is possible. The question is, how far will it go? At the center of everything lies one word: nuclear. Iran insists its nuclear program is peaceful, for electricity, for medical research, for national development. But the United States and Israel fear something else. They fear weaponization. They fear that one day, Iran could possess nuclear weapons capable of changing the balance of power in the Middle East forever. Years ago, negotiations brought temporary hope. Sanctions were lifted. Inspections were allowed. Agreements were signed. But mistrust remained. When political leadership changed in Washington, the deal weakened. Sanctions returned. Iran resumed enrichment. Tension escalated again. This is not just about technology. It is about power. Because in geopolitics, nuclear capability is not just a weapon, it is influence. And influence reshapes regions. Iran has watched history carefully. It remembers what happened to Iraq under Saddam Hussein. It remembers what happened to Libya under Muammar Gaddafi. Both leaders challenged Western power. Both faced accusations about weapons programs. Both were eventually removed after Western military intervention. From Iran's perspective, the lesson is clear. Weakness invites attack. Strength deters it. But here is the difference. Iran is not isolated like Iraq was. Iran has allies. It has regional networks. It has invested heavily in asymmetric warfare, missiles, drones, cyber capabilities. And it has prepared for decades. This is not 20th century warfare. There are no massive ground invasions. Instead, we see precision airstrikes, covert operations, cyber intrusions, drone swarms, missiles launched from hundreds of miles away. When Israel strikes Iranian-linked targets, it does so with intelligence precision. When Iran responds, it often uses ballistic missiles and long-range drones. Defense systems intercept many of them, turning the night sky into a battlefield of fire. Reports circulate. Some confirmed. Some rumors. High-ranking military figures targeted. Command structures tested. Even speculation about the fate of Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei. The wartime information is often unclear and must be treated cautiously. This is a technological chess game. Each side probing. Each side calculating. One mistake could ignite something far larger. The conflict does not exist in isolation. Missiles do not respect borders. Regional powers feel the tremors. Countries such as Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates. Watch carefully. Some align closely with the United States. Some cooperate with Israel strategically. Others attempt neutrality. But neutrality becomes difficult when missiles fly overhead. The region risks becoming a larger battlefield. And when regional wars expand, history shows they rarely stay contained. The conflict is not just Middle Eastern. It has global implications. China expresses diplomatic support for Iran and calls for restraint from the West. Russia criticizes American and Israeli actions. Meanwhile, Western nations stand firmly beside Israel and the United States. The world begins to look divided again. Not exactly like the Cold War. but reminiscent of it. When major powers begin aligning on opposite sides of a regional conflict, the danger multiplies. Because miscalculations become global. Wars are not only fought with weapons. They are fought with economies. The Middle East controls critical oil routes. If conflict disrupts supply, oil prices surge. Inflation rises worldwide. Shipping lanes become unsafe. Global markets panic. Even nations far from the battlefield feel the shock. A regional war could trigger a global recession. Economic instability has historically led to political instability. And political instability fuels further conflict. The cycle feeds itself. The most dangerous element remains nuclear capability. Israel is widely believed to possess nuclear weapons. Iran has advanced nuclear technology. If nuclear weapons are ever used in this conflict, the devastation would not be regional. It would be global. That is why, despite intense hostility, all sides tread carefully. Because once nuclear weapons enter the battlefield, there is no victory. Only irreversible loss. On paper, the United States possesses unmatched military power. Advanced aircraft carriers. Stealth bombers. Global reach. Israel has highly advanced missile defense systems and intelligence capabilities. Iran, however, has strategic geography, missile stockpiles, regional allies, and the advantage of defensive warfare on its own terrain. But modern war is unpredictable. Technology changes outcomes. Cyber warfare can disable infrastructure. Drone warfare reduces manpower losses. Public opinion influences political decisions. And alliances can shift rapidly. There is no simple answer. Because war is not a video game. It is chaos. Right now, the world stands in uncertainty. Diplomacy still exists. But so does escalation. Every strike risks retaliation. Every retaliation risks expansion. History teaches us that wars often begin not because leaders want total destruction, but because small escalations spiral out of control. Will diplomacy prevail? Will back-channel negotiations calm tensions? Or are we witnessing the slow ignition of a much larger fire? The truth is, no one can predict the outcome with certainty. But one thing is clear. In a war of this magnitude, even the winner suffers. Because in modern warfare, destruction does not choose sides. The world is watching. The skies remain tense. And humanity stands at a crossroads. The next move could shape the future of the 21st century. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, share, and comment.